Hi there, my name's Craven, and today I want to challenge you to give your creative self a chance, to give yourself permission to be an artist, and in doing so, make your passion something that you can actually get paid for. Now, how many of you, when you were kids or teens, loved to write, loved to draw, loved to illustrate, loved to build things with Lego blocks, loved to improve things around the house, loved to play video games, create your own games? Anything where you were creating something new, you were making art, and you were being an artist. Now, how many of you were then told by friends or family, by publishers or prize judges or gallery owners that there were a lot of good artists out there and that you were not good enough to make money from what you loved? Now, how many of you feel trapped in a job that you hate, or in a job that you took because you knew it was safe and it made you money, but you didn't actually feel like you had any soul to it? How many of you feel creatively deprived, feel like you need something to enrich your life, that you're using more of your head than you are your heart? Well, today in this presentation, I'm going to promise that you will come away with actionable steps to help bring creativity back into your life. And for those of you who want to make your passion something that you can make money out of and something you can build a career from, you'll also get a path from this. I also want you to come away with the conviction that you are good enough to make art. Now, what I want to talk about today is releasing your inner creative, about how you can then take your passion and bring it back into your life and enrich what you're currently doing now. Now, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about me so that you know that you're in safe hands. I have been an artist for as long as I can remember. I've made creative solutions to different problems. When I was 4 years old, myself and my sister were in a cubby house. It was hailing outside. I wanted ice blocks, so I put a bucket on my sister's head and sent her out into the hail. Now, you got to admit, that's pretty creative, right? When I was in high school, I found out that my favourite author started her first published novel at 14. At 12, I thought, I could do that. And by the end of year 12, I had written a 75,000-word novel. I was also really super duper smart. So I was at the top of my classes in physics and chemistry and in maths. And at the end of high school, I got given the advice that all of us got given. There are a lot of artists out there, and I don't think you can make money from what you love. You need a backup plan. So I went to university and I did, of all things, astrophysics. By the end of those 3 years, I was huddling in my room every 3 months, crying my eyes out because I hated what I was doing. I was good at it. I got good marks, but it wasn't what I wanted. It was so much stress and so much angst for something that I didn't even like. So I went out and I asked those people who I thought knew better than me, and I said to them, I really hate what I'm doing. Should I give my writing a chance? Because I was a writer. And they said, no, you are too smart for art. With a little sneer, you're too smart for art. Like I was throwing away the best part of myself to be what I wanted to be. So I followed their advice and I got a job in mining, and I was earning $60,000 a year, but I was so unhappy. I hated it. It depressed me. I just didn't know how to get out of the funk that I was in. I was procrastinating all the time, just wasting time. And then I realized that my backup plan had become my life, and it was shit. And so I thought, well, if this was how bad a backup plan was, then how much worse could my true passion be? So I went out and I learned about traditional publishing, and when I found out that the traditional publishing gates were closed, I went and I learned about ebooks and about internet marketing. And when I felt that I had learned enough, I then went part-time in my job, and I told people I'd gone part-time. I started to create my own literary events, get a bit of media, and then all of a sudden, it was like magic. I started being asked around Australia to speak on ebooks and on digital marketing. Now I've quit my job and I'm doing what I love, and I'm getting paid for it. And you can do that too. So today, I want to take you through how you can get that creativity back in your life. And if you want to, you can then use your passion and make money from it. And we're going to count it down in 3 simple steps from 3 to 1. And the first is getting freedom from your programming. Now, when we're kids, we were told that you should fear failure. When we got things wrong on a test or we got things wrong on an exam, we were punished for it. We were told, no, there was only one right answer, and if you don't get it right, then you are in the doghouse. You lose points. You get sent to the corner. You get wrapped with a cane. We were taught to fear failure. And now we know that there are a lot of statistics coming out at the moment that the education system only works for about 50% of learners, which means 50% of us out there were told that we were stupid, that we should fear failure, that we were failures. Now, Einstein has an absolutely fabulous quote, and it says, everybody is a genius. But if we judge a fish's ability to climb a tree, it is going to end up believing it's stupid forever. And that is what has happened with our programming. We believe we're stupid. We believe that we're not good enough. We were told that we shouldn't fly too close to the sun because we could get burnt. But what nobody told us was that if we fly too low and too close to the waves, we could hit those waves and drown as well. So back 50 years ago, people would only do one career for their entire lives, and that is what they would retire on. Now, people are going anywhere through 4 to 6 careers in their lifetime. So what's holding you back? What is holding you in that job, in that state that you hate? And what I can tell you it is for a lot of people is a fear of being found out as a fraud. Fear of being found out that you aren't good enough, that you aren't who you say you are, and fear of failure. And there is only one way to get past that, and that is to dance with fear. How you can get over that fear is to dance with it and to celebrate both your failures and your successes. So if you want to make your art and your creativity a priority in your life, you need to create something new every day. I don't care if you have to get up 6 o'clock in the morning before the kids get up and do something for an hour. Every day you have to create something new and not worry about whether it's good or bad. And you need to celebrate the failures as well as the successes, because only through practice and through going through those failures you will learn how to be better, and you will finally start to build up the skills that you need to start making your passion a bit of a reality. Second, I wanted to talk to you about educating yourself. You need to learn the conventional wisdom of what you are doing. So we are all born with this little seed of talent, but if you want to make it into something that makes you money, if you want to make it into something that satisfies you, that you're satisfied about the art that you make, you need to grow your skills and you need to learn. Now the paths, traditional paths to being a good artist, don't work for everybody these days. They're all starting to close in ranks. Now, to give you an example of what I mean, when I first started out and I decided that I was going to give my writing a chance, I went out and I learned about traditional publishing, and I found out that traditional publishing was almost completely closed to me. The traditional publishers had pulled in their ranks and they were letting very few people through. And I was wondering, how do I then get my work out there? So then I educated myself further. I found out about ebooks, I found out about internet marketing, and I learned how to connect with an audience online. And I learned how to go a different way about it. And if I hadn't gone and educated myself, I would have happily gone along believing that traditional path to publication was the only one. And I would have kept getting those rejections, and I would have stopped again. So I'm asking you to learn the conventional wisdom, not so that you have to obey it, but so that you can break it. So how do you do that? You buy books, you listen to audios, you listen to podcasts, you watch videos, you get mentors in fields where you need to build up your creativity. You go to galleries, you read the news, and you find out what are other people doing? How are other people breaking the rules? What are the new things that other people are creating? And bring that all into your consciousness. Because don't forget that you really, if you want to be an artist, you have to create something new. And only by learning about what came before and what other people are doing can you then put something of worth out into the world. And the final one, and the most important one that I want to share with you, is that you need to share your art. Knowledge is not enough. You need to go beyond knowledge. You need to share it with an audience, because the only way that you're going to get that connection and make that difference that you craved when you were a kid and when you were a teenager is by sharing it with other people. To look failure in the face and say, here, I made this for you. Only by sharing it with people can you again improve. Can you make that difference that you were setting out to make? For example, when I started my own creative event, I did a choose your own adventure, a physical choose your own adventure in Adelaide City here in Australia. We put up posters all around the city that people could go to do this adventure. Technically, it was an absolute failure. There were drunk people running around at festival time, ripping off posters every 6 hours. I think after a week, a grand total of 8 people finished it. But I shared this idea with the world, and I went forward and I actually created the event. And we started up a Facebook page for this event, and we got 150 people liking it in 24 hours. Every month, I still get emails from the people on that page asking me, when are we going to run this event again? In Brisbane, they took my event and made one that was similar, and they got 800 people going to it, and we built our following. I then got asked by the Brisbane City Council this year to run a Choose Your Own Adventure event for the Brisbane Writers Festival, and I was getting paid for it. It was a technical failure, but I learned from that failure, and I can now make that better, and I now have an audience that I can bring that to. And that was all because I looked fear in the face and I put it out there. So what you have to do is you need to connect with people. And because those traditional ways of connecting, either through galleries or through photographic competitions, or whether it was through building design awards, all of those things are now much harder to do these days. But there is a whole world full of connection of people who want to find something new, find something that they can relate to. So you need to go online. And you need to find out where your audience lives online, where they hang out, where they discuss things, what they talk about. And you need to go and you need to make connections with those people so that when the time comes to presenting them with your art, you have people out there who you have a connection with, who will be able to help you improve, get better, and create amazing art.